Okay, so I'm back at my favorite place in the garden. I was here last week, and last night we had a pretty wild storm and a lot of rain, so I knew I had to come back for a life lesson. I have realized. So sometimes in our life, things are kind of just going along, smoothly, kind of like what the stream was last week. And I'm going to insert a picture of the stream last week. So you see everything's kind of just nice and calm. Actually, there's a backup of leaves and backup of kind of just junk just sitting there because hadn't had much rain and not much change, just kind of like in our lifetime. Sometimes just things just kind of puddling along, not much change. Well, sometimes we get a storm in our life, like last night. And what you saw before is gone. All those leaves are gone. All the buildup is gone. The green scum is gone because of this storm that came. Sometimes there's storms in our life, and we kind of typically look at them as bad things, but sometimes they clean out what needs to be cleaned out. But we'll talk about this as a life lesson when I go sit down in my favorite place, okay? So anyway, we just looked at the stream there, and I talked about storms in life, cleaning out some of the junk that maybe is in our life. And when we're going through a storm, it doesn't seem so easy. But there's a Kelly Clarkson song. It says, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." It's a saying too, and I believe that. And if you come out of a storm and you survived it, and if you learned something from it, then I think that storm ended up being a blessing, and that's something that I have seen in my life. But I'll be honest with you, there are some storms that aren't a blessing, that they just are terrible things. Loss of a loved one, sickness of a child. There's nothing good about those. Those are just part of the negatives in life that happen to us. And I have no answer for you. I'll tell you what helps me, and what always helps is a future hope. And I believe that this world is not our final destination, that it's just temporary, and that there's a future life, and that's my future hope. In fact, in the Bible it says there's no pain, no sorrow, no disease, and that's my future hope for when I'm going through some bad times. And to tell you the truth, it doesn't really help during those bad times, but just having that in the thought of a future hope helps in the long run. And I get all these serious topics, and the other Tony gets all the fun ones. So anyway, basically what we said today was that if you're going through a storm, if you got through it and you learned something from it, it's great. It's not great when you're going through it, but when you look back, it wasn't so bad, those storms. The other ones, like I said, I have no answer for you. But next week, the other Tony will be sharing a Christmas song that he got from walking in the garden. And it's a lot of fun. Don't miss next week. Peace and love.